Hello everyone and welcome to the Anime Zillia. Okay, that's the wrong show. 1 second. That's better. Hello everyone and welcome to the Anime Zillia, and thank you for joining me as we talk about We Never Learn chapter 178, aka the starting of route number 5, known as the Kirisu route. Overall, this route was a route that fans were very excited about from what I could see from the comment sections of these chapters. Me personally, not as much. However, that being said, I do believe that this route was in fact a really strong start to what looks to be a interesting route to say the least. With the addition of a time skip showing us how each character has kind of progressed and moved forward, like we see Narayuki's two younger siblings grown up and how they're progressing through their school life. And we see another character returning, which I'll get to in a minute. Plus, we have this idea of Narayuki being a teaching student under Kirisu. So basically, he's learning how to teach as like an apprentice or just like a shadow guide under Kirisu. And I really like this because this continues building Narayuki's character towards his dream/goals and aspirations of wanting to become a teacher, while at the same time giving the plot a way to move forward that involves both Kirisu and Yuiga being together and developing their relationship. Okay, so based on this chapter alone, we can tell that this route might not depict Narayuki being involved in a relationship that consists of a lot of lustful thinking and thoughts and actions, which personally I think is the correct decision because Narayuki isn't like that character. Yes, Narayuki did imagine Kirisu in a very night-time-like outfit. However, that came straight after him seeing her in her underwear. Plus, he even stated that Kirisu doesn't really wear stuff like that because of a tracksuit. So I really did like the fact they stamped that out right off the bat. Instead, I think that this route is obviously going to link to that first panel that we see, where Kirisu is like mentioning how she's been in a situation like the firework festival beforehand. If you remember the firework festival, it said that whoever you're standing next to or holding hands with while you're looking at the fireworks, that is who you're destined to be with. And Kirisu has the kind of moment where we see a panel that depicts a very young Kirisu herself, and she's at that said festival, which obviously links to her stating that she's felt like this has happened before. Now, hopefully this does get expanded on in more chapters moving forward, and I believe it will do, but at the same time, I'll get to in a minute why I think it shouldn't happen in the past. I think the feelings of respect, however, will play a big part by the ending of this route. We have Narayuki stating that he wishes to become a teacher that can earn the respect of Kirisu. So the word respect is going to be very heavily implied while moving forward in this route. That's just my personal take on it. You might think differently. If you do, you can let me know your thoughts in the comments. Speaking of the panel in where Kirisu mentions about the firework festival, and we see that younger Kirisu, I really hope time travel does not play a part in this route. I've said it before, and time travel really doesn't need to be here. We've seen this trope before though, this trope I should say beforehand, you know, with Narayuki in the theme park and Kirisu being there, you time travel back in time. I don't want any of that shenanigans to happen. If that does happen though, I can see a situation in where Narayuki uses this opportunity to experience how Kirisu acted around that sort of time to kind of get an idea of what she really likes and how he can kind of implement that into getting her attention. Yeah, I kind of do see Narayuki being a little bit simpish in this route. Not gonna lie. However, seeing more of a grown-up version of Narayuki's brother and sister was quite nice to see, as one has taken up karate and the other tries to play the piano. And seeing Miss Amada, is that her name? Again, was really cool, and it was a nice trip down memory lane. Obviously, the whole joke between her selling the flat to Narayuki and Kirisu was a good joke. I like the fact they brought that character back, because she has some good moments when Narayuki was working for her. I thought she was a nice, fun addition to the series. But this chapter gave us a bit more of a slightly different Kirisu from what I perceived it as. Now, to me personally, it feels like Kirisu's character has slightly regressed when looking at her developmental stage at this moment in time. Personally, when reading this chapter and seeing some of the panels depicting Kirisu's expressions, I really thought it showed off her Ice Queen persona, which I thought was shattered in this part of the story with the development that we've had from her from the main story. She's not like she was at the beginning of the series though, so she's not as sort of like strict and as harsh, but somewhere in the middle it feels like. So it feels like we haven't quite reached the ending of her development. And honestly, I don't mind that. It's not a big issue for me because seeing Kirisu develop more will be an interesting turn of events that I'm looking forward to seeing, because I always like seeing a character develop and evolve. We've seen it through all the other routes so far. Characters have looked like they've been fully developed before the Ulaka route. However, their routes have offered a little bit more development from their character that kind of help pushes towards a satisfying ending of said character. And I think we are going to definitely see that from Kirisu. It's just this one, I thought that she maybe have regressed a little bit too far back with her developmental stage. But only time will tell. Again, this might have just been something that I thought, and I might be over-analysing it. It's just something that did slightly confuse me a little bit. Nevertheless, it was still enjoyable to see Kirisu in this chapter. And thinking that Kirisu has changed, I'm glad one thing hasn't changed when it comes to Kirisu's character, and that is her sheer ability, or lack of I should say, when it comes to Kirisu's cleaning habits. So seeing her flat completely trashed and having insects crawling around was pretty fun, and it's always nice to see a grown-up being freaked out by insects. So, you know, it gave me a good laugh. Overall, I really did like this chapter as it raises a few questions, making us wonder where the route is going to go. And that kind of, I like it when a chapter gets my imagination going and gets me kind of thinking. But it also helps lay down a solid foundation for where this route might be going in the future. Obviously, we have this whole Naruyuki studying as an assistant to Kirisu, which I think is a great dynamic and something that I personally wanted to see when kind of thinking of ideas as to how this route could go about. The comedic aspect of the route was rather good. We had some great moments, you know, like Kirisu being scared of the insects. We had the whole opening the curtains reveal. Some of the expressions from the characters in general were fantastic. And I just thought, all in all, the comedy was really nice. The art style was really beautiful, and in turn, that helped complement Kirisu's character very nicely. I would love to hear your thoughts on this chapter in the comment section down below. What did you think of this route, and where do you think it's likely to progress to? Did you like the possibility of time travel, and do you think it's possible to see it in this route? Let me know all of your thoughts in the comments. Let's have a conversation, and let's get our ideas going. Like the video if you liked the video, subscribe if you're new so you never miss a video from me. And, like always, have a great day. Arigato, matane, goodbye.